Interesting factoid is this is where the Ruckus got their headlight design.
Speak.
What?
Not a right.
What?
Speak me.
What? Speak you? Is that all you got?
Speak me the expression.
I'm gonna get back. I bet it wheelies. Yeah, that's how it sits.
Yeah, from here to here, wheelies.
Yeah.
You don't need axles, you don't need spacers, you don't need anything. If you have a Dio or a Japanese Dio of any sort that's already disc and it has 10mm legs, forks, these will bolt right on. I don't know, somebody clearly thought they were doing some sweet homebrew racing with the Dremel. Baja. What's cool is I have a Baja, which most people know. Well, it's my wife's Baja. It's technically mine, but she thinks it's hers, so I'll tell her that. Really cool bikes, Honda Dio. So you've got the interesting factoid is this is where the Ruckus got their headlight design. Was from the Baja. But pretty cool bike. It's a regular Dio2. You have different fairings, different rear rack, and then this whole headset setup, blinkers, headlight, and everything is specific to the Baja. Panels are the same. My understanding, everything's the same minus the kind of this section here and this. This is David Stroms' bike. I don't remember where he got it. He drove really far to get it.
I think that when he got the Malaguti, he got this.
Yeah. But he brought it in. It needs a carb clean, some CVT work. Gonna get some tires put on it as well. But I'm just gonna kind of see where it's at as far as baseline. I want to say the Dios and at least end up being like 3.4, 3.8 wheel horse, somewhere in there. It's been like 4 years since I've tested one, but it's high threes, I think 3.5, something like that. So the plan for this is to do he's gonna buy the aero exhaust off my Dio, and then my Dio's gonna get a Windjammer, and then we're gonna do some jetting, some CVT work, probably a belt. Need some grips because these are a little bit not good. So grips on it. But we're gonna start just by seeing what it makes and then seeing what you get after doing just a pipe on a stock 50cc. So I'm guessing you'll probably get 2.5 wheel horsepower gain. They do pretty good. So. I'm doing good today. How are you doing?
I'm fine. Okay, I believe you press 1 to get a lower interest rate on your credit card. Is that correct?
Yeah, correct.
Hey, John.
So you have been qualified to lower down your interest rate less than 6% to 0%, alright?
That's right.
Okay, so how much do you owe on your credit card? Any rough idea?
Of idea, about 12,000 rupees.
Okay, I will now pull out your recent billing statement and I will be able to provide you a recent update such as your balance, last payment and due payment as well, alright?
Okay, do you guys offer interest rates, let or low?
Yes. So what is the expiration date on the card? When does it expire?
Okay, here we go. That's the expiration date.
Can you speak?
Did you get that?
Speak.
What?
Not a right.
What?
Speak me.
What? Speak you? Is that all you got?
Need the expression.
Is that all you got? Oh, okay, I'll read it to you. Did you get that, or are your ears too full of wax?
Okay, so are you qualified for this?
I'm qualified to date your mom. That's what I'm qualified for. He's doing it to me now. Ooh. You know how to press a button. Do you speak?
Oh,
Hey,
you
can
have been qualified.
can I have a
You
job?
been qualified.
I'm looking for a job. Can you hire me?
Listen, you have been qualified to this.
Then you hung up. I've been qualified to this. Ooh, that sounds talk dirty to me. Oh yeah. Oh, you're good.
I have a website that you could go to. Do you want the website?
Hello?
Do you want the website? Ooh.
Check the sound.
Ooh, I like this guy.
Dang.
Mic check, mic check.
Give me a beat.
Let me hear your sick beat.
Can you sing for us?
This sound.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh.
Ooh, that's a good beat. Can you do Mary Had a Little Lamb? Can you do Habib Had a Little Goat? Come on, let me hear a joke. Let me hear a joke.
How many hot dogs can you fit in your mouth?
That's all he's gonna give us. Let me hear a joke. Come on. Give me a joke. I want to hear a joke.
Yeah.
Let me hear a joke. That's all. That's it. Wow.
back.
Oh wow, Paul.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. You should definitely never go to dance club. All right, stop. Let's see what he's got to say now. Is he?
Hey man, tell me a joke. Who will hang up first?
Yeah.
That's the challenge.
All right, now let's see what he says. Is he doing that?
Hey, still there? Oh, say, hear this. Hey, man, tell me a joke.
Wait,
How does he talk to that fast?
I have a question.
Damn, bro, you're fast.
I have a question though.
Aww.
That's a good
That
one.
was good. Yeah, thanks.
That's
Yeah, this is. I like this. I don't have that on mine. I'd say mine's probably the same condition.
I would say yours is probably better panel wise, and
Maybe a little bit.
and yours isn't dented or anything, right? This is pretty clean on yours.
Yeah, it's got some scratches from when it was laid down, but that's good. Alright, forward there. You can hear how it's kind of idle hangs like that. The carb needs to be gone through. We're going to put a big jet in it anyways, and or may have an air leak, but it hangs. See how it's sitting there at 40, 100? And if you wait, it'll slowly kind of, there it goes. So that's an air leak right there. Because it's getting a bunch more air and then it slowly kind of calms back down. But yeah, you ready for all the power?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get back.
Pretty good, like 4 point something. Yeah,
4.3.
So this here, guys, is rollers being too heavy or contra being too soft. This should come up and stay, right? Should come up, should curve up, stay flat like this, and then as soon as you kind of max out, run out of power, it's going to come down. So I would say your power's right in between here, which would put you at maybe a 40, high 30s to 40 mile an hour bike.
Right
But
now
this is-
you'd be lucky because this right here,
yes.
you'd be probably maybe 25, 30 miles an hour.
Well, that's the whole thing, like with CVT tuning, I tell people is, yeah, okay, so you've got power right now to get to 20 just fine, but it's going to take you forever because you're making what are we making here? The CVT is way off. You're making 1.9 wheel horse right here. So this CVT is just, this is really, really bad. I'm guessing he has some either like really heavy weights in here, a worn out contra. But yeah, so this will actually be a really good chart to see what it started with. I'll do one more. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
4.3 is pretty good stock, but ideally you want to see that all the way through here, or even start lower. Look at this, Paul, look at this CVT. I've never seen one that bad before. Really heavy rollers, probably.
Or
contra.
stiff contra.
No.
Yeah.
No, look at it's making, look at the wheel horse, how fast it drops. It's shifting right here and coming back up.
Oh, it's shifting early.
Well, yeah, look, it's 4 point something and right on 25.
Or really heavy weights.
Really heavy weights. It's super worn contra.
I bet it wheelies.
Yeah,
That's how it sits.
Yeah, from here to here, wheelies.
Yeah.
Well, did you ride it?
No, it's boring.
I didn't ride it, but I had it in here. It like has a lot of like just
And then it died, and then it's dead.
I didn't ride it.
This is also kind of what a pulley does. If your pulley's on the wrong angle and your pulley shifts too fast, the rear pulley. But I'll just do a couple more runs. I'm pretty sure that's consistent. Maybe it was cold or something, but I'll do another one. But I'm guessing it's going to be the same.
Show me the power.
That's bad CVT right there. Heavy roller. So that's, I mean, it's pretty consistent. You can see the second time it was probably a little bit warmer, but it's still, you can see that transmission's way off. Something to keep in mind too when you see people that post like, oh, I've got a Honda Dio, it does 97 miles per hour, but you do the math on where you're making power at with gears and everything, where people, you have to take what you read with a grain of salt, because at higher speeds, if you're not making that peak power all the way past where your speed is, you're dropping. Like if you look down here, this bike, so this bike right here, you're making 2.05 wheel horse at 42. So had I held this as long as I could, yeah, I could probably get this bike to 55 miles an hour on the dyno, or more, 60. So sometimes you'll see guys on dyno like, oh, my bike did 90, 100 miles an hour on a dyno. It's totally irrelevant because that drum weighs 800 pounds and he keeps spinning the wheel. You can see this bike, you're gonna have a really hard time getting into the low 30s. It's gonna be really bad here. You're gonna get stuck on hills and you're not gonna be able to accelerate up the hill because you don't have power to do it.
But if you're going downhill, you sure could hit 45 miles an hour.
So if you see people say, oh, I hit this or hit that, and you do the math on the cylinder they have making X amount of RPM, X amount of gears, they may make it on a downhill tuck or whatever. We had one guy that said he had this bike with like a PG long, which we know is dead at like 10.5. He said he did like 92 miles an hour on a PG long. But at 92 miles an hour, you're probably, this probably becomes
30,000 RPM?
No, it was something like 13,000 RPM. But this motor becomes a restriction. It's just an air pump, right? So if it can't pull in that air fast enough, it actually will slow the bike down. So yeah, we're gonna take the pipe off this guy, do some CVT work, put an arrow on it, but this should be night and day. So not only is his power gonna go way up, but it's gonna be more usable power, and it should just be like this all the way. And guessing we're gonna be able to get it in the 50s or something, and it should be more consistent, and then it'll drop off right now.
So first thing, we're just gonna throw the pipe on, see the difference of the pipe. Because I mean that's a real world, realistic thing that people would do
to show what a pipe will do by itself, and then CVT.
Yeah, and it's great information for these guys that, let's just say somebody bought one and they're like, okay, you know, they're maybe like me, they're a 4-stroke guy, they just throw a pipe on it. Well, why isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Yeah,
oh, okay, I'll do some jetting. Oh, that makes a difference.
This is good because this is going to be basically the same as a Honda Elite. Kimco ZX is going to be the same as far as like the motor goes. This is the AF18, but it's going to be the same parts as the 16. But this is actually really good, like Pat said, where people just oftentimes say, hey, I just put a pipe on my bike, it runs terrible. Well, we try to tell them beforehand, get the CVT working, they don't want to do it or don't understand it. This will show you guys a pipe by itself will do something, but it really hurts. It's going to really hurt the bottom end. It'll probably power through this a little bit better. My guess is this is just going to be dead. It's going to ramp. My guess is it's going to ramp up here.
And it'll just die a little later.
It's probably going to die a little later and die harder. And it's got, and then once it gets up here, it's going to peak up faster and carry like this because the arrow is going to want to see it's going to kick on at higher RPM, which means it's going to take longer for this to come back up. But when it does come back up, it's going to come up higher because it's going to get on the pipe and make more power. So yeah, it's arrow by itself.
And it'll be really cool to see, like, just by doing after we jet it and do the CVT, how smooth the curve will be.
Yeah. So not just higher power, but like if you're not making power here to here between 20 and 33, that's the bulk amount of where you're riding.
Yeah, exactly. And you'll never get here unless you're on a hill. So unless you get on a hill here, that'll carry you so you can bump you back over. Yeah. So this is also kind of what the Zuma's bug eyes look like without the Instabike pulleys help this because they don't shift super fast and bog down. But yeah, let's get this pipe swapped out and make this look a lot better. So today we're doing something we've never done before. We're gonna give away 2 bikes. The first bike is the Pre-Bug. Once we hit 40,000 subscribers, we're gonna give it away to one of you guys. Now bike number 2 is the Bug Eye. This bike has a bunch of aftermarket parts. How you win this bike is just as easy. You already shop at Scooterswapshop.com, so every dollar you spend on the store is 1 point entered in to win. Doesn't this have a brand on it? What brand of exhaust you putting on here? Ooh, you can apply your own stickers for $600. You can put your own sticker on. I'm guessing because maybe some people don't want the sticker on it. I thought on that, but it's pretty cool stuff. So I'm gonna rock it. Alright, we have the aero exhaust installed. As always, the slip fittings leak a little bit, so we went ahead and put Honda Bond on it, and we're going to let that cure. But took the transmission apart, found some pretty interesting things. Get on a light here. I don't know, somebody clearly thought they were doing some sweet homebrew racing with the Dremel. Homebrew racing with the Dremel here. I don't know what's going on, but you see all these big giant divots right in the bottom, and then they just ground and ground. It's actually lower there in the middle, so I'm guessing they were thinking that maybe they get more bottom end somehow and get more top. But if you look,
they chewed these spots open here thinking the roller is going to come out more. But as you saw, this thing performed absolutely horrible on the dyno and pretty much ruined. I've never seen a bike that far for the CVT. So your homebrew stuff, guys, I'm sure there are some methods of modifying things that are going to work, but this is definitely a failed attempt. When your dry face is all the way down like this, no matter what you do with your rollers, it's going to be bottomed out. But anyways, this is a pretty interesting thing. This would be something to keep on the front desk because it's a wall of shame item. The boss is really gross and kind of, yeah, everything about this is just gross. So I think it's a factory variator. Somebody just thought they were gonna home tune it. So what we're gonna do, this clutch looks pretty good. It's got pretty good meat on the pads. It's got a pretty healthy contra on it. So we're not trying to go, this is a bike that's gonna be for his wife to ride, and he's got a jog too, so they kind of wanna be at the same level. Stock cylinder, just make it run better, some mild CVT stuff, some jetting and a pipe, and he's gonna do some wheels too. But look at your clutch, the pads are nice, you know, they're pretty nice. They're not, there's a good amount of meat on them. I mean, this is a good clutch, so I would say for what he's doing, it's not really worth putting money into a clutch. Pulley looks good. So for the variator, we're gonna go ahead and do the Bellini variator, which we've probably sold 1,000 of these things, and they're extremely good variators. Remember, if you're doing a Honda Elite, you need to use your factory boss, not the Bellini boss. So make sure when you're doing this, you need to use your factory boss in the Bellini variator. So
is that boss okay on this?
Yeah, this boss is fine. I'll take it and clean it up a little bit, but it feels pretty good. I'll just go over it with a little Scotch Brite pad, spin it around. I think it's fine.
A little bit.
Yeah. So if you use this, your kicker is going to bind up in your bike. You're going to go to kick it, and it's going to grind on the kicker. So you can't use this. This will work if you're doing like a ZX transmission on an Elite. But if you look at the difference, I mean, it's probably good. Maybe, what was that, 2 millimeters probably?
Easily.
About 2 millimeters, 2.5 millimeters longer. So this is not going to work. Stock boss, and that's what's nice about the Bellini variators, is it stock bosses drop right in. The Melosi variators, the stock bosses do not. So that's why we don't really like selling the Melosi variators for the Honda Elite unless it's a ZX, because you can't drop your stock boss in. Melosi boss is different. One of those things that just comes with years of selling parts and trying them, knowing what fits and what doesn't. Also, it's got some new guides for this. Also, Bellini used to be blue, they're all black. Somebody asked recently, hey, send me the blue ones instead. They don't exist, they're all black now. And then you've got your 5.6 gram rollers, and you've got your 6.9. David's a pretty light guy. I think his wife's gonna be on this bike, so I'm probably gonna start with the 5.6s because the arrow's gonna want to run higher. And then we've got some 1500 RPM clutch springs. It should be pretty close. And we're gonna do the 1000 RPM contra as well. So this will just bring the RPM up higher to allow that pipe, the cylinder and pipe, a little bit more time to get up in the higher RPM before it takes off. Otherwise, it's gonna bog like crazy and then take off. Yeah, super excited about this. It's gonna make a world of difference.
Yeah, I sold David some wheels.
Oh yeah. Kind of went through every color combination with him. So he chose the orange. These are for David's bike. You can literally pull the tires off of his wheels and put them on these wheels and do nothing else. You don't need axles, you don't need spacers, you don't need anything. If you have a Dio or a Japanese Dio of any sort that's already disc and it has 10 millimeter legs, forks, these will bolt right on because they're 10 millimeter, which is really cool. His rotor come right off, bolt right on this. Tires are going to go right on, so this is going to be a really quick and easy swap. But yeah, we've gone on the website, of course, selling pretty quick. this would be a nice addition to that bike. His back wheels just, I'm sure Pal will put a video in right here. The back wheel just goes like this, and so he's like, you know what? It's in here, may as well do it. And he's getting some nice Michelin S1s, really good tires, nice and sticky. They last a long time, and they're also pretty cost effective. On that note, I think I'm probably. Did you talk me into this, or did I talk myself into
I think you talked yourself into this.
On my Dio, probably gonna post those RRGS wheels up for sale.
Ooh.
They're like $1,200 wheels. My guess is they'll probably be sold before anybody even sees this video. But I'm gonna do the.
But feel free to drop a comment and ask.
Yeah. I don't want to drop these, but I'm gonna do these on my Dio. I think these are 10 millimeters, so I'm gonna have to do reducing spacers in the forks, which we have luckily, and a different axle as well. But I'm gonna go ahead and put these on my Dio as well.
Let her eat, bud.
There's stock jet still, so it's gonna be lean, but. Yeah.
Wow, way different.
So pretty much like we talked about earlier. So something's going on here. The kept the stock contra in because it felt pretty stiff. But I'm gonna probably put a different one in. But this could also be something with jetting. So there's a shift here, comes up, and then a shift here again. So definitely a little bit more work to be done. But as you can see, it looks like now power didn't go up a whole lot just because the jetting's still stock, or I don't know what he has in this bike. But you can see this right here. Again, this is still a problem. There's something funky going on. It's probably either leaning out here and here and here is probably my guess.
The max power shifted 10 miles an hour.
Yeah, and as you can see here,
and it maintained an average power more of 3.5 horsepower.
So here at 46, he's making 2.6, where before the max we got at 43 was 2.08. So you picked up 0.6 horsepower at a higher speed. But again, we'll get this to where this is smooth. We're gonna add some more fuel, get it where it's smooth, and it'll be just like this, and then just slowly taper off here.
A little bit more, maybe CVT tuning.
Yeah, and see if he added gears, it's just essentially gonna take this whole thing and shift it further out. But I don't think, I mean, even if he can get to 50, which is not gonna be a problem, I think he'll be pretty happy. The belt is pretty worn out too. The belt's gonna hurt this up here, but I think most of what we're seeing here is jetting. Again, we didn't touch the jets at all. I don't know what's in this carburetor. There's some janky stuff going on, so who knows what he's got in it. The next step is to put some jets in it and give it a go again. I'm gonna ask Paul a question. Hey Dustin, do you think Dirt Bike Guy's coming today?
For sure, no.
Paul, is Dirt Bike Guy coming today?
No. If he's coming, usually he will call and say, hey, come down today. Or if he's eager for his bike to be done, he'll just show up, he'll park in the middle of the street, and he'll be like, hey Dustin, how's the dirt bike going?
Or he'll say, it looks good, everything looks great, I can't pay for it, and I can't pick it up today, but it looks good.
Yes.
You can't tell people how to live. I'm glad they're spending money here, but it's almost like you want to tell them, it's like, just take it away, man. When you're not talking about juggling and this and that, then come back when you have money.
You're laying bricks, Paul?
He was the mason's helper one day. It's like, man, you can't pay for your bike doing that job. It's like you're handing them bricks. You ain't gonna pay for your doing that.
Not when you're having stuff done at Scooterswapshop, the premium shop in Portland, Oregon. Oh, Paul.
Dang, what are you doing, Paul? You're about to scratch that thing.
It'd be really funny if this fell.
I'm gonna teach you something here, Paul.
Okay.
Japanese Dio forks, the spacing on the adapter for the caliper is different than Taiwan forks. So you
Really?
can't take an NCY adapter and bolt it onto here.
Really, it looks very close.
It's not.
Strikingly close.
It's not. You wanna make a bet?
I don't want to make a bet because you're probably right.
You know what I
They
want
look
you to do?
strikingly close.
I want you to take those off because they're cooling down. I just heated them up.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm
you
gonna.
can use that. Use an impact. I would
Where-
You're not
use
using
that.
that impact.
I wouldn't use that.
No, I would use a ratchet with a proper size socket.
That'll strip. You want that wham, 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 wham. Not the slow ease. You just want to get in there.
No, never use an impact on rotor bolts.
Never had a problem with it.
Every time I've used one on it, it's stripped them.
This won't work.
Talking sweetly to it.
Not gonna work very well.
Also emotional. Is it working out?
No.
I think when he pushed, his hair poofed out a little more. Look, see it? Yeah, yeah.
It's just like slowly rising. Whoa, look at this. It's a sight for sore eyes.